Well, it seems you and Kristen really are amazing collaborators. So did you know as soon as Sils Maria was over that you wanted to work with her again and develop something for her?
No, I did not. I did
Yeah.
not know. I did not know, and I think but it's more like during the making of Sils Maria that I realized, you know, how much Kristen is a unique actress, is an extraordinary actress. I mean, when I met her like a few times before we made the film, I loved her. I've always been a fan. I've always been, I always felt extremely privileged to be able to work with her. But when I was shooting, I realized, oh my God, she's extraordinary. She has something. She's something else, and I suppose that consciously or not consciously, I knew that I had to try and push her in other areas, because as much as she's great in Sils Maria, and I think she would admit, it's one-dimensional. The character of Valentine is mysterious. She's this kind of sharp, smart young girl who kind of just basically helps Juliette Binoche gets her ideas straight, but I'm not using her emotions, her human side, or the complex, and I'm not giving her any kind of complex emotions to represent. And I knew that there was a huge potential there, and so after Sils Maria, I was involved in a movie. I was shooting. I was supposed to shoot in Canada. The movie fell apart like one day before we started actual principal photography, which was a bummer to say the least. And so so I went back to Paris and started thinking, okay, so what's my next film? So I suppose that instead of moving into a completely new direction, I decided to build on whatever momentum I had created for myself with Sils Maria, and eventually use, develop, expand the characters and the themes in Sils Maria. So yeah, so that's how it happened.
I'm sorry, that's celebrity, personal. I mean, in Sils Maria, of course, she was a personal assistant, and now she's a personal shopper. What interests you about that world, or was it just a device?
I think it's difficult to answer, but I think because I really think this film was inspired by Kristen. So there must be something about Kristen that kind of brings this out for me, and I'm not sure I can precisely pinpoint it, but I think she's simultaneously this movie star, this incredibly powerful actress, and she has this kind of girl next door thing. She can move. I mean, she's a celebrity, but she's a young LA girl, and she can create that kind of empathy. You don't look up on her. You look at her as also as an ordinary person, in the sense that you're yourself an ordinary person. She has this kind of very basic humanity that's so easy to share, and so I suppose that's why I always need to put her not so much in the situations of dominance, but in situations where she can share the difficulties in everyday life that we all know and all experience.
So it's quite ironic that, of course, she's trying on those clothes, but in real life on the red carpet, of course, we all know that Kristen Stewart wears those clothes, but there's something quite funny about that as well.
No, the thing is that, working with Kristen also brings another dimension to the characters. I mean, it was obvious in Sils Maria, because she was playing, with celebrity culture. She's part of celebrity culture, but she was joking about celebrity culture simultaneously, which would not have worked, would not have been funny, at least in that way, if it had been another actress. With Kristen, it just gave another dimension, which kind of emphasized the comedy elements in the film. But also in a movie like Personal Shopper, doing this film using the fashion industry as a background with Kristen, it adds a layer. Obviously, it gives complexity to the emotions.
What interests you about